Hi Brian, just tell us a little bit about how the move came about first of all.
Really through my relationship with James Webster. James had played for us at Parramatta before he came to England to get himself involved in footy over here, and we've retained a bit of friendship and certainly a bit of coaching chat between us. Caught up with him when he was back home last year, and he was about to embark on his first head coaching gig. So fast tracking a bit, I texted him to make sure he was okay, wasn't going to do anything silly after he'd done what most of us have done in footy and find themselves replaced from the coaching bit. So when I knew he was okay, and he actually rang me and we had a verbal conversation for a while, and he made the comment about, maybe the Wildcats needed an experienced coach or something like that, and a little bell went off for me, and I texted him the next morning to say, if his old boss was interested in an experienced coach, ask him to give me a call. So Michael rang, and that's how it happened.
So what appealed to you about the challenge at Wakefield?
Well, just the challenge is always something for me. I think in terms of myself, I've had 2.5 years of being out of the coaching game after 30 years of it, and I loved it. I found out I knew footy was going to be okay without me, but I was okay without footy. But just in the last little while, in the last few weeks, I'd been keen as sort of to find something. I wasn't sure really what, and when this came up, it just seemed like the right thing for me. I was unencumbered. I can come straight away, and there's certainly a challenge on here. But I know Wakefield from my twice I've been here before, and I know the history of the club, and James gave me a bit of a snapshot of just where the club is at, and it wasn't all doom and gloom that the bottom of the table position would suggest. So it was easy, really. It was a 10-minute conversation.
Did you see yourself coaching in England again then?
Well, I've been saying I think from my mum to everybody else who's asked me in the last 2 years, am I retired? And I said, well, I don't know, but do I have to be one or the other? I really didn't know. I found a new way of living my life that I really enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure I'll be back there doing that again at some stage. But I'm really happy about this. I feel good about it. I don't know all the detail yet, but what I do know, I feel good about.
So what were you doing when you weren't coaching then, that you said you might go back to at some point?
Yeah, I lived in the Blue Mountains west of Sydney, and it's a farming community really where I live, and it's just my dad was a farmer and he knows how to do it. I didn't pay attention to farming when I was a kid, and we weren't looking to make a living out of it, but it was just the serenity, as they say, and working with these hands, and my shoulders are still sore and my hands are killing me still, but I hope they recover in the time I'm in Wakefield so that I can go back and do it again.
Well, that serenity be a bit different from coaching Wakefield in Super League the next few weeks, you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I could not see people for, a week.
Right.
Not anyone. At some stages, it was, and it was what I needed. I felt like I needed to sort of release myself from all the pressures of living a coaching life. I loved it. I love coaching, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it even more this time round. I feel like I'm even in a better position to, smell the whole thing a little bit better and relax a little bit more. And I just got to make sure I don't relax too much because there's a job to be done.
How much do you know about the current squad then at Wakefield?
I know Tim Smith really well, and not related, but we had some bit of success together at Parramatta, and Tim won I think if I remember rightly, he won the NRL Rookie of the Year in 2005, and he really had a great season. He was it's not an easy thing for a kid to come into the NRL nowadays, and particularly at halfback. But he did well, and he's obviously had some highs and lows since then, but he's still got the talent. See that. And I know young Jacob Miller from his days at in the lower grades at the Roosters. He's a talented young fella and a great young guy. And I don't really know the other Aussie guys personally, but I know Matty Ryan's dad really well. We actually played some footy together when we were schoolboys, and I know Scotty as well. But I don't, I don't know any of them well enough in the last few years, weeks, of where they're at right now. So I'm going to need to get to know them as well as all the other guys as well.
Is it a blank canvas for them? Because apparently you've not come in either midway through a season to coach a team before, so is it a blank canvas for people?
Well, it can't be blank. It can't be blank. There's so much going on. So, my thinking is to just take it easy a bit, and rather than sort of jump in and try to change anything or everything, which might have been my inclination when I was a younger dude. I'm thinking that I need to see just the way that the Wildcats do their thing. What it is, the way they go about their preparation. I've obviously adapted in other places where I've been myself, but I feel like I need to at least give it a shot to see just exactly what is working and what's maybe not working so well. I think the temptation when a team's on the bottom, like the Wildcats are at the moment, is that everything's wrong and that everything's bad or whatever. And it's footy's never like that. The professional sport is, one of my favourite things is this. When you're above this, you think you're going great. When you're here, you think it's all doom and gloom. And the reality is you're about that far away from either being down there or up there where you want to be. And it makes it sound simple or easy, and it's not always that way, but many times it's just a few things. It's some simple things, and definitely confidence is the biggest issue there.
What do you make of the game's new structure over here? Because that's going to be, I guess, key to what happens between now and the end of the season. It
is, yeah. That's a bit ironic. Yeah, I was here when promotion and relegation was part of the old tapestry, and at Hull from 88 to 90. And Hull were, from memory, I think Hull won either their last game or last couple of games, I think, before in the 87-88 season. And then when I went to Bradford, Bradford, I don't think they were down, but they were struggling a bit. So, I'm not. It's not an uncommon thing for me to come into a place that's not functioning where everyone would like to be, or where its history suggests that it's a great club, this one as well as the other two. So I think finding out which bits are going to make a difference to turning some poor performances into better ones, and hopefully losses into victories, is the key to capitalising on the unique opportunity that we got. Where in the old days, Wakefield would be looking at relegation right now, I'd be pretty certain. So the new system's a bit of an opportunity, a rare opportunity. So when rare opportunities come along in sport, you've got to grab hold of them.
Yeah. And so how will your deal is till the end of the season initially, and then what's the thinking behind that, and whether you could stay longer?
Yeah, well, I think from both points of view, really. I think Wakefield are going to need to assess their situation at the end of as a club, when they know where they're at, and me and these hands in my shoulders and that opportunity to be in this situation and find whether I really want to do this again. I really want to do this for 5 months. I'm jumping at this opportunity, but whether I want to keep going after that or not, we'll find out.
You're looking forward to the prospect of taking on some old names that you would have done in your last 2 spells in England now then?
Oh yeah, that's always a bit of fun, and certainly you know, it's the competitive juices start to run. And Tony and I are brothers, but we've never coached against one another. But I'm not. It's not fair, this one. He's been here for 15 years, and you know, he's in a very, very good situation, or pretty good situation anyway, at Warrington. They're a strong club, and he's done a great job. You know, and to be fair, like footy's been generous to both of us Smith boys in England. Rugby's been, you know, it was the makings of me. I absolutely loved my time at Hull. That was, you know, it was the kickstart really to my career, and then at Bradford was probably the most exciting time that I've ever had. Those 2 seasons of the last of the old seasons, and then the first Super League season. It was just, you know, the things that happened in that club were I don't know if anyone's been able to make that, any club has been able to make that sort of change and flick into that sort of bull mania that was cracking at that time. It was just fantastic. And you know, and from Tony's point of view, he's done so well for Huddersfield and continued to grow, and even after he's gone, and his opportunity at Leeds he really capitalised on, and now Warrington are a force as well. So you know, as I say, rugby's been great to both of us, and particularly here in England.
You say it's unfair, but are you still looking forward to pitting your wits against him when that comes around?
I don't know about that. It's you know, some of the things about winning games for us is going to be vital. That's the name of the game. But the first job for me here is to, and particularly for myself, you know, and then I got to carry that to the rest of my guys, and hopefully everyone around us here at the Wildcats, that you know, that one, we got to get together. You know, we've got to make sure, and they may already be very well together, but I need to see that, and then we need to go about working every single day between here and the back end of the season to grow our confidence in each other and start to perform, carry those good training performance and preparation into some victories, so that we all get what we Wildcats want to get.
Good. So when you talked about some memories at Hull and Bradford, can you create a few more memories in England, do you think, between now and the end of the year? Yeah,
that's the deal. And it's possible. You know, it's possible. That's the wonderful thing about sport. So it's not, you get no guarantees, but there's some principles about preparation and confidence, and you know, things can change fast.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, Brian.
Thank you.